Really appreciate you coming. You're going to be the first in the United States to see The World's End. We're going to be back to do a Q&A, but let me introduce two other people, my partners in crime, who you will know after the film as the Pink Hulk. Please welcome Nick Frost. Somebody else who's here, the co-writer and star, the platinum hair, Simon Pegg. Oh, wow. Yeah, there we go. That's stupid. It's out of control. People sitting here, we will be replacing your synapses after the screening. You will enjoy. We're gonna. I know you've been waiting, so we're gonna get this film started any second now.
Traffic was fucking awful. It took us like 40 minutes to get from the hard rock hell.
The last time we take a pedicab.
Take your feet off the chair.
You don't have to. Don't do what you said. She's not really afraid. She's terrified.
All right, let's get this movie started. We just wanted to say thanks for coming. This is the culmination of. We had the idea for this film 6 years ago, and we're really pleased that we, it came together and we got the band back together, like in the movie. It was. Thanks, guys. Your gratitude scared me then. I was like, thank you! I'm having a heart attack! Basically, this is a film that had its... I went on a pub crawl when I was 19, and it went disastrously wrong. The only 3 minutes of the movie is basically what happened to me 20 years ago. And the fact that I never finished this pub crawl has gnawed at me so much that we now have made this film. So I'd like you to enjoy going on the Golden Mile with us. Don't get straight on Twitter and spoil all the surprise afterwards, otherwise we will kill every single one of you. Even the people who didn't spoil. Because this man goes fucking berserk.
I won't kill anyone. I won't do it. I done it a couple of times and that was it for me.
Thank you!
I think I'm gonna watch it with you as well, because it just feels like there's such a lovely crowd, so I'm gonna snuggle up with this. All these big muscle boys. Go and see out with the muscle boys. Oh, that jump was it. Yeah, right. Listen, let's get going. They've all waited 50 hours for it.
There is somebody in this room where there's a reference to a scene of a film that he is in, and I look forward to him seeing it. I'll tell you afterwards in the Q&A. But just because Simon's in the room, don't applaud every time he's on screen. Do. No, really don't, because he's in every scene. And it'll start to sound very strange. But why don't we watch The World's End? Yeah!
Reason only. I'm very lucky in my job. I get to see about 3 or 4 movies a week, probably about the same that you guys all see. And I'm here because I have not seen a better comedy this year than this movie, The World's End. So it is my absolute pleasure to bring back up here the 3 guys most responsible for this film. Edgar Wright. Nick Frost. And Simon Pegg. Woo! Let's get closer. I like that. Okay, hello, everyone. Now, the advantage that we have over your Comic-Con panel from this morning is that the crowd has seen the movie, which is fantastic. There's so many more things that we can
I don't think Button Lady's here either.
That was the best part. Is she here, the Button Lady? Was anyone in that panel today? Let's get to the most important question of all of the themes of this film. How did you decide where to put the Cornetto wrapper in? How was that decision made? How many different ideas were bandied about? What decision almost made it in, and that's not where it ended up, and instead it ended up in the chain link fence?
We had to throw it away. There was too much, sort of pressure on us to include it, to do anything but literally throw it away, so we did. We saved it. Hopefully people would forgot about cornettos, so that when it came at the end, it was a bit of a surprise.
I think at one point we thought about it being the last shot, that the last thing that happened is it flapped into the camera, and then we came up with the idea about Nick's character sort of saying that he was okay with eating vegetables. Because the thing that I think that I like about it is that it what's he going to do with it on the fence? He might be able to lick a bit of chocolate off it.
I always think it's my bottom incisors. That you get the, you kind of get the last bit of mint chop off with the bottom incisors.
So is it true that the colors of the ice cream are meaningful? I think I learned today that yes, they are.
Well, the thing is, when we in Shaun of the Dead, like we had a strawberry one, and that seemed to fit because we had that joke in there, and we thought, oh, this works because everything in the film is white and red. Like he's wearing a white shirt, red tie, red badge, blood, pen mark. The ice cream is like white and red. So we did it, and then in Hot Fuzz we had like the blue wrapper one because it was the police. So then mint the kind of like sort of well, the color scheme of the blanks in the movie is all blue and green. Like if you watch it again, actually when you watch it again, you notice that everybody apart from our heroes is wearing blue and green in the movie. Like everybody, even Martin Freeman and Eddie Mardana are wearing blue and green because they're gonna get it. So only Roz, Simon, Nick, and Paddy are like wearing colours that aren't blue and green. So we kind of wanted to have this overall palette that was just kind of felt oppressive, and maybe you wouldn't notice it. But.
Now I have to say, one question that people always ask actors, and I hate this question, I'm about to ask it, is the question of, are you like your characters, or are you not like your characters? But I want to know for...
I thought you were going to say a different annoying
Which was what?
Say, were you drinking real beer? But in every single interview.
But I want to know for you guys, Simon and Nick, of all of the different kind of relationships that you've had on screen, because there's been so many now, which one comes closest to capturing the relationship that you have in real life? Because it's great that you guys have mixed it up a lot, and it's never been the same dynamic, really.
I think we've probably been in all of those relationships, but weirdly, not this one. Our relationship, I think we're very lucky that our relationships, we've evolved as we've grown older, and neither of us have ever, we haven't done it on purpose. It's just happened, and we just move forward.
I think that's how we would have been if I'd suddenly got stuck and, because you don't take any shit from me, do you? You always, and
I think I dropped out of doing a law degree too, so, I mean, I'm not like Andy in that respect.
Yeah.
I left law behind, the law is an arse, so.
We were kind of like Shaun and Ned for a while, or then sometimes you were like Shaun and I was there.
Yeah.
But if I'd have got stuck and not evolved, you would have got angry with me like that by freezing me out.
I would have dropped you like that. I still might. I'll never drop you.
Thank you. One thing I'm very impressed about is that this is a film to go on Pierce Brosnan's IMDb page. This movie does not appear.
Don't do it, guys.
Don't do it.
I'll kill you.
Don't go on Wikipedia and change his list of credits. But let's talk about how this, because we have a crowd of people who have seen it. Let's talk about how this all came about. Getting him, who sought after whom?
We approached Pierce. I mean, what we wanted to do, we thought with that character, it would be, there's something like, I don't know if you've ever, if you see like a high school teacher out of like a school, it's always like, oh, it's a shepherd from school. It's like he's famous. So we thought it'd be a funny thing to have some really, really famous as a teacher. Because in the scene, it's almost like the actors are like reacting to the fact that Pierce Brosnan is at the table. It's like they get slightly starstruck and giddy.
It was fucking amazing. It was Pierce Brosnan, wasn't it?
So what's funny about the scene is also that point in the movie where they're that drunk that they're getting a bit silly, but they're sort of reacting not only to the fact that they're teaching from school, but the fact that it's Pierce Brosnan sitting there.
And also they behave like they would when they were kids. As the evening progresses, they revert more and more to type as they were when they were children, to the point that the boys all fall in line behind Gary. the old hierarchy just re-establishes itself, despite all their efforts to outgrow him. With a few pints inside them, they just become the boys they used to be. And sitting around Mr. Shepherd, they can't even call him by his first name because it's too funny. And like, I had that experience meeting my teacher years and years and years later when I was supposed to call him Gareth, and I just couldn't because it just sounded so ridiculous.
It was a mensch on set. He didn't. Sorry to just slip into Yiddish.
He does that.
He hung around with us. He didn't go back to his trailer. He sat and played stupid games and read the paper with us. And I had not much to do in that scene. I just had to kind of look at him and watch him act. And I think a lot of the time in that scene, I'm looking at him thinking, "That's the bloke from Dante's Peak." It was amazing. He has such a beautiful voice as well. It's like rich Italian caramel dripping out of his mouth. It's wonderful.
We would actually, when he would leave a room sometimes, I would always quote what is the worst line in the James Bond franchise from View to a Kill is when a cop says, he goes, "You know who that was? James Bond." Which is the line that makes no sense. How is James Bond famous?
It was brilliant as well because he was always there for offline. Sometimes actors, if they're not on camera, won't be there for offline. You'll talk to the script supervisor or a cross on the wall or something. But Pierce was always there. Like, always there. Like, even when we told him to go away, he was still there. It was just the most utter professionalism I've ever seen in my life.
Even after we'd wrapped.
I know, he's still there. I had such a crush on that man.
Well, given the fact that you had to make a film in order to hold the audience's attention, really, about people who we all would want to hang out with, how did you kind of calibrate it? Because to use your word from the panel this morning, Gary's a bit of a dick, and Andy is a bit of a tight ass. So how did you make sure that you were keeping those characteristics at the same time as making them people that we would all actually want to spend time with?
I think, well, for me, it's that no matter how annoying Gary is, I always kept in mind the fact that he's desperately unhappy. And he's essentially a suicide on the run from a psychiatric hospital. That is what Gary is. And all of that bravado and kind of like, crazy Beetlejuice-style energy is just a real tragedy. And if I loved him, then I hope that eventually the audience would too, despite the fact that he's a complete twat. That's what I had to keep in mind the whole time. And I've never had so much fun playing a part in my entire life as I did Gary. He's just like, I feel for the guy.
We thought it was a nice kind of like sort of twist on the sort of the previous, because he's both the hero and the villain of the piece in terms of like, he's not only that friend from school, that guy that like peaked at 18, but like sometimes, I remember actually I had it on Nick's, I went to Nick's kind of stag do, that's what we call a bachelor party, and there was a guy there who was like the kind of what I called the drinks Nazi.
My mate,
Yeah. Like, as soon as
It's
I
my Gary
arrived, he gets straight in my face and said, "Shots!" And I literally got off a plane from LA to come to his party, he goes, "Shots now, right? Shots!" And I'm like, I have a shot. He goes, "No, now, shots." It's like, I just thought, there's those kind of people that will make you do anything. And I think that's that thing, it's like, when they were 18, they would all completely fall under kind of Gary's lead. And now also they're too wise to do that. What's the only thing that can make them do that is that Gary's got a plan when the robots turn up, and they're drunk, and it's like they immediately fall under his spell again, and it's like now he's in control. But also he doesn't have their best interests at heart. So we wanted to do this thing where we started this thing of like, let's make a film about a drinking quest, and then even when the left turn comes in, they're still on that quest. It's still about getting to the last bar.